Hello students. In our previous video, we discussed about what is the importance of reading the NCERT textbooks. Now in this video, we will try to understand how do we start reading the NCERT textbooks and what is the right methodology to read the NCERT textbooks. So before you start preparing for the UPSC, one important thing that you have to do is go through the previous year question papers of UPSC so that you understand the trend of the examination, and also it will help you in understanding from which topics and which areas the frequency of questions are being asked. By this, you try to understand which are your focus areas, which are your focus subjects, and on which topics that you need to focus for UPSC preparation. Having understood this, the next important question which most of the students ask is whether we should read the NCERT books class-wise or subject-wise. What do we mean by this? When we are talking about class-wise NCERT, for instance, you start reading from class 6th NCERT, all the different subject books, and then you move to class 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is one methodology of reading the NCERT textbooks, wherein each standard of textbooks covering different subjects you are going to cover year by year. In this way, you can adopt if you have a lot of time at your disposal. But if you're preparing for UPSC and if you have a time crunch, a time constraint, we suggest that you have to read the NCERT subject wise. It means that when you start a particular subject, for instance, you have started reading a subject called geography, you have to start reading class 6th geography, then move to class 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In this way, if you choose a particular subject, try to read all the subject books from class 6th to 12 so that you develop a comprehensive understanding about the subject, and you will have a chronology of understanding. You will understand the logical sequence of the subject in a time-bound manner. This way, there will be more clarity of concepts, better understanding of the subject, and you will be able to retain the subject better, as well as it will take lesser time for you compared to what time you take if you read class wise. In this way, if you prepare, definitely you will be able to master the NCERT books in a period of 3 to 4 months. So having understood that we have to read subject wise NCERT textbooks from class 6th to class 12th, now another question that students have is, what are the NCERTs should we read? Should we read all the NCERT textbooks thoroughly? There are about 40 to 42 NCERT textbooks. Is it possible for us to read all these NCERTs? So we suggest that there is a distinction that you have to try to understand. There are certain NCERT textbooks that you have to read thoroughly. That is, you have to revise several times, and you should be at most thorough with these concepts in these NCERT books. And there are some NCERT books which require a quick reading and a broad understanding. These NCERTs enrich your knowledge, and these NCERTs will be useful for your mains examination. So what are those NCERTs which require a thorough reading? If you can note it down, there are class 9th and 12th old NCERT textbooks for world history subject. Along with that, you have class 11th and 12th. Class 11th and 12th Indian history subjects for ancient India, medieval India, and modern India. You should refer the old NCERT textbooks written by namely R.S. Sharma for ancient India. Modern Indian history, you have an NCERT textbook written by Bipin Chandra. These NCERT textbooks are your source of information for the history subject. Try to be at most thorough with these subjects, because lot of times the questions have been picked directly from these textbooks in the UPSC prelims or mains examination. Along with that, you should also read the geography textbooks from class 6th to 12th. Please try to read each and every textbook from class 6th to 12th geography. More importantly, class 11th and 12th geography. These are sources of information, sources of repository, where your comprehensive understanding about world geography and Indian geography is covered in detail. If you ask us, these NCERTs are going to help you fetch better marks in your prelims or mains examination. So these are some of the NCERTs which require a thorough reading, a thorough understanding, and many a times that you have to revise these NCERTs and try to make your self notes out of this. Along with that, you have these NCERTs which you have to have a broader understanding, that is, you should have a quick reading about the NCERTs. These are NCERTs like the social sciences and political science NCERTs of class 11th and 12th, and also class 6th to 12th democratic politics or the civics NCERT books. If you ask me, the 11th and 12th NCERT books like Indian Constitution at Work, political theory, and then you have the sociology textbooks like Indian society. These kind of NCERTs will help you develop a comprehensive understanding about those particular topics. You also have some NCERTs like politics in India since independence, contemporary world politics. So these will help you in international relations, post-independence consolidation, okay, Indian society, social issues. So these NCERTs you have to read at a broader level and try to develop an understanding. So in this way, if you focus, and in this way if you are clear about what NCERTs to focus more upon, what NCERTs to develop an understanding about, then you have better clarity in your preparation. Having understood this, what NCERTs to read, now let us try to understand how to read the NCERT books and then how to make notes from the NCERT books. In the first reading, the student should have a glimpse of all the NCERTs that he is reading. We have decided that we will read the NCERT subject wise. For instance, you are starting the 6th class geography NCERT textbook. Try to have a glimpse of the NCERT. Try to have the glimpse of each page in the textbook. Read each page, but don't try to memorize anything at this stage. This stage is to be used only for you to develop an understanding, only for you to develop the contours of the syllabus, for you to develop the scope of the syllabus from this book. After the first reading, in the second stage of the reading, you have to develop a deeper understanding about the concepts. You should consciously try to understand which are the important areas. Then you have to try to highlight the important topics or important terminologies that you come across. In this stage, you have to spend at least 10 to 20% of your time in contemplating and introspecting as well as analyzing the concepts. Okay, so in this stage, you should be precise about your preparation, be targeted in the topics that you are reading about, and try to develop a comprehensive understanding about the subject. Okay, then moving to the third stage, this is the important stage wherein you should start making notes. Lot of students ask this question as to how to make notes for the NCERTs. In the third stage, you should start making notes, because by the second stage, you are now having a holistic understanding about the subject. Now you have the conceptual clarity about the subject. So having developed this conceptual clarity, now you should be able to put it on paper. What are the important topics, what are the important terms that you have come across from that NCERT. So from the complete NCERT textbook, whichever you have read, you have to try to write the gist of that NCERT in about 5 to 10 pages. This gist should consist of the essence of the NCERT, because in the next time when you read the NCERT textbook, this gist should be enough for you to revise the subject and develop a comprehensive understanding about the subject. And you have to try to make notes only about the important terms, important concepts and important examples from the NCERTs. In this way, if you prepare, your NCERT subject preparation will be easier. Also prepare a timetable for yourself. Try to see the different subjects of NCERTs that you have to read. Decide for yourself a particular timetable and try to complete the NCERTs within that timeline, so that you can develop a comprehensive understanding and you will be able to retain the knowledge in a better manner. And once you are able to understand the basic concepts of the subject, you will have the confidence so as to appear for the UPSC civil service examination in a confident and yet deterministic manner. Thank you.